Howdy do it, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Darkest Dungeon. Today we're having a quick little preview at a new class that is currently in testing on the Project Iron Crown Discord called the Tempest. This is a combat support slash healer by Vintage, the one who's responsible for all the birds, trophy hunter, and stuff like that. And this class is very, very interesting in what she's trying to pull off. I introduced to you one of the best uses of AoE regeneration in a team. Now, a lot of her skills will not reflect the final product. Okay, let me put this into perspective. There's so much talk with her in the Project Iron Crown Discord channel that she had gotten 1,000+ comments on her thread in just 2 or 3 days of the class coming into public-ish testing, right? And similar classes of this caliber, such as Resonant, maybe got up to 2,000 comments over the course of months, a month or two. She got 1,000 in just less than a week. So she has a lot of interest from the community so far, from the people that are testing her, and there has been a lot of back and forth takes and stuff like that. Some people think she's good, some people think she needs a little work and all that. I'm not entirely sure how I feel about her so far myself. I've used her a few times, but let me get away from that and show y'all what you came here for. So, Vextra, or Vetra, I keep saying Vextra. Tempest, Catalyst to Catalyst to a seemingly unlimited amount of power, or reading comprehension issues. Catalyst to a seemingly unlimited amount of electric power. The Tempest maintains a standoffish and haughty presence during the perils of combat. Healing currents, damaging power spikes, and conductive loops are all within her reach. But take care, such power is not wielded lightly and is prone to side effects. And then her blacksmith description. Designed to minimize shocks and channel excess energy, the Tempest kit is as functional as it is meticulously manufactured. The crystals on her gauntlet appear as if natural gemstones, but there is more to them than meets the eye. And then finally, her survivalist description. Haunty, I think this is supposed to be hoity, and standoffish. The Tempest keeps busy during downtime by refining her thunderous gift, although neglecting rest and other self-care aspects. Her modifications are functional, effective, and efficient. Now, to go over her kit real quick. She has pretty decent health, really high dodge, good speed, good general speed, which I think that's on line with Occultist. Pretty high crit. And then ignore the quirk. 6 to 8, 10, or 6 to 10 weapon base, not too bad. So 8 base speed, 8 base crit, 25 base health, 27 at level 3. And then her kit, she has Phaser, High Voltage, Energize, Feedback Loop, Shock Coma, Overcharge, and Amplify. So she has 1, 2, 3 healing skills and 2 buffs, and then 2 damaging abilities. Phaser is meant to be like a main, essentially. You just press button. This is great in dance teams. She attacks a target. Gets a free movement action, good for repositioning a Crusader in for Holy Lance, stuff like that. It's good for cleaning up at the end of a fight. Can be used anywhere. Hits enemies rank 1 through 3. A recent change. She used to not be able to hit position 1 with it. Now she can hit position 1. So, Hunter accuracy minus 25% damage mod, minus 4 crit, shuffle single. This alone makes this button worth the press, just for the shuffle alone. And it's a little tiny zap. Minus 7 speed debuff, and then plus free movement action. And now, High Voltage. This one is hilarious when it crits, and it is not so hilarious when it doesn't crit. 100 accuracy, 50% damage mod, 18 crit, massive crit bonus. Plus 25% damage on crit. Self, suffer 4 HP damage, bypass riposte. Now this also can be used anywhere, but it cannot hit position 1. Before this hit position 1, but could not hit position 4. Now this is her I'm going to kill you now skill. You press this and you're fishing for that crit. And what's great about her crit effect is she has a chance to stun. And that's like 140% base to just outright either kill something, or if she doesn't kill it, she has a good chance of critting it. Is it consistent? I would like to think so if you build for it, or build around her crit with like focus ring and so on. This one, it kind of felt bad when it doesn't crit, and it kind of still feels that way in a way. You're taking a huge gamble using this. So, it's excellent when it hits with a crit. Don't get me wrong, it is absolutely monstrous. It used to deal 5 HP damage, and that got lowered by 1 in the recent patch. Now her 3 healing skills. Usable anywhere, energize, this is the safest heal skill you have. Heal 2 for 2 rounds. And it scales up, I think, to like 3 rounds or something like that at level 5. So this is a safe heal, doesn't proc too much, but you know, it's a safe heal. And then someone is asking me is she like a Vestal or Crusader healer, and I'm like, both. Yeah, just both. And I'll explain why. Feedback loop. This is the Divine Comfort, basically, but buff target plus 6 speed for the entire battle. You throw this on your premier damage dealer, right? On the next monster kill they do, on the next 3. Party heals 2 for 2, and this scales up, right? This, I'm misremembering. Energize, the regen on this doesn't scale as hard as the regen on Feedback Loop. Feedback Loop, you want to open the fight with this. You either open the fight with Feedback Loop, or you open the fight with either Amplify. Amplify is going to be changed in the future. Don't worry about Amplify. But Feedback Loop, this is meant to be like, other than Energize, like the main healing skill. This is good in theory. In practice, I haven't really messed around with it too much. The healing of it was kind of low when I was using it last time, and then it got buffed. I'm going to test it in the next video. Now, Shock Coma. This used to then have a cooldown. This is a ridiculously strong, really strong heal. Usable anywhere. You zap someone on your team. 31% healing done, like percentage, in 2 blocks, but stun. Who cares about the stun? You're getting a massive heal spike and 2 blocks on top of that. And you pair this up with Arbalest with Flare, you clear the stun, or you clear any other class that has a clear stun. It's getting massive value with Shock Coma. And now, her 2 buffs. Overcharge. This is a doozy. Target. Refresh skill uses. Bombard anyone? Clear stun as well. 86% damage, only for 1 round, but it's for the combat round, I want to say. Suffer 5 HP, and debuffs the target plus 60% damage taken. You don't want to spam this, but this is really strong. Not only because of the clear stun and the refresh skill use, but 86% damage. You throw that on with Vapors and throw it on Highwayman. Anyone with Riposte would love this skill. And I've tested this with Wanderer with this skill, and Forbidden Techniques and Vapors. Oh my god, Wanderer was the leading stuff. And give Wanderer Feedback Loop on top of that, so Feedback Loop into Overcharge. Yeah, It's really good. And then Amplify, as it works right now, is like a minor stress heal, and then a little bit of stress healing and healing received. It's already been mentioned. This is not going to be reflected in the final build. I'm not going to even cover it, but it's kind of bad, honestly. I don't like this skill. I pressed it once, and I saw what it's doing. I'm like, maybe if you pair it with more, you pair it with refresh skill or combats, but it's not good in my opinion. It needs something to like make it like bolster. Bolster is usable once, but it's good. But overcharge is fantastic. High voltage when it crits is fantastic. Energize a little boring, but safe. It's regen. Your regen is strong as is. Feedback loop, I think it's going to be interesting now that they got buffed. And shock coma, sure, you're stunning, but hey, it's a great emergency heal. Now her camp skills: static discharge, self only activate riposte, permanent riposte for 4 battles. 4 battles, and this has a decent chance to crit, by the way. And remember, her crits stun. This is a fantastic camp skill. Probably the best camp skill she has. Probably the best camp skill I've seen. Simply because passive riposte, she goes, fuck you, zap them, and you potentially get a stun and all that, and it does decent damage. It's doing neutral damage. So, like, you're doing 6 to 10. It has no negative damage modifier on it whatsoever. So, yeah. I mean, it's inaccurate. It's not going to scale in accuracy at all, but still, pretty good. Electrolyte. Time cost 3, 50% restoration duration. Pretty good. Pair that up with feedback loop and energize, and you got a decent thing going for you. LED. For 4 battles, minus 100% torch burn rate. Great for keeping highlight torch. This makes sense because, she's tinkering with the jewels on her gauntlet and flashing up like a freaking firebug. Electrodynamics. Time cost 4. Party. 20% stun chance across the board for the entire party. And then 20% stun res. That's pretty good. Really for herself, good for her allies, this and that. One thing I would love to see, maybe Vintage give Amplify, crit for the whole party. Do it. Give the whole party crit. Anyways, Vetra is really, 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 really interesting. I did not expect to see a healer like this. I don't think anyone that has seen the sprite sheet thinking, oh, she's going to be a DPS. Nah, she's a healer. She's primarily a support. And she does it pretty good so far. With a few more tweaks, I think she could be really good. Crit fishing. You guys know how much I love my crits. I love crit fishing. She resonates with me on a spiritual level, simply because of crit fishing. And I love crit fishing. I've landed the high voltage on a ghoul, and the ghoul was just LOL, get fucked. just get fucked. I also encountered a collector with the wanderer team I was running. I stunned the collector turn 1. Everyone burst them down by turn 2. It was hilarious. And this was before the second patch. Well, for third patch. She had 3 patches so far, and high voltage was doing most damage. High voltage actually was weaker before. Now it got stronger. I have fears that high voltage might get nerfed. I hope not. If it gets something like a debuff when it doesn't... If it gets something like a debuff, it will get nerfed. 100%. But I still think it's good. I think it could be, kept the same if she has another way to boost her crit. Boosting her crit would probably make high voltage a little bit more appealing. This is not something you want to spam, obviously. This is not a spam skill. And it's not targeting position 1 anymore, so you're not, incentivized to... Before, you get to the end of a fight and you try to hit high voltage, the only thing you can do, you couldn't hit him with phaser because phaser can only hit 2 through 4. So you would press high voltage and, you know, blow up the target and have no way to heal off the recoil. So the change for phaser and high voltage targeting ranks, the persons that suggested that made a very good point, and I agree with it. Plus, she has very good reach with these skills. I mean, look at it. She can work anywhere in the party. She's great for shuffle teams. She's great for supplemental healing. You want to run a secondary healer with her, like 100%. That is definitely the ideal case. As long as you have... Don't make her the primary and only healer. It will backfire on you if you don't manage to get like kills with feedback loop. In longer endurance fights, feedback loop ain't gonna really do anything for you. You'll be running energize and shock coma. So feedback loop is good for like long runs where you're just going from enemy encounter to enemy encounter to enemy encounter and this and that. That's where feedback loop really comes. Or endless, of course. And then shock coma and energize is good for those longer, you know, elite fights or bosses. Now, anyways, ladies and gentlemen, that shall be it for this quick little preview. I will see you in the next video. Take care, like, comment, subscribe, and all that YouTube jazz. And I'll see you when I see you. Bye.